Hey, another late video, but at least I'm doing it. I'm talking about the Mandrake by Machiavelli. So, let's start. Machiavelli was born in 469. Not 469, 1469, and died in 1527. He was an official of the Florentine Republic. He was a historian, politician, diplomat, philosopher, humanist, and writer. And this is during the Renaissance. He is known to be the founder of modern political science. Some of his most famous works include I'm forgetting one of them. It starts with a D. I know there's The Prince. That's definitely his most famous. There's another work. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, this play was written in the. This play was written as a response to the Medici rule, which is a political dynasty which had connections to the papal rules. There were 4 popes during the Medici rule. It was during the Italian Renaissance, time dominated by religious and scientific and humanistic and philosophical innovation, mainly in Italy, which then spread to other parts of Europe in later years. So, famous adaptations and revivals of this play. Wallace Shawn wrote an adaptation of this play in the 1980s. There have been several operas and musicals, not Broadway, but musicals based on this play. Famous adaptations, there was the Riverside Shakespeare Company in 1979, Long Beach Shakespeare Company in 2009. This play was written around 1518 BC, not BC, 1518. It was published around 1524 and performed around 1526 in Italy. And it's a neoclassical satire. So, Calmaco, the protagonist, wants to pursue the love of a woman, and her name is Lucrezia. And she is married to Niceo, and she's very virtuous, and so she doesn't want to break her marriage vows, and Niceo wants children, and so does she. So, they are told through Calmaco, who conspires with a priest, this friar Timoteo, and what's the banker? There's a marriage broker's named Ligario, and he conspires with them, and they lead Niceo, who's a foolish man, to go to Calmaco, who disguises himself as a doctor. And he says that he'll prepare this potion from the root of a mandrake. So when she ingests it, she'll be fertile. Talking about Lucrezia. But the problem is the first man who has sex with her will die the next day. And supposedly he's made this up to fool Niceo. Niceo agrees to this, giving her this, but he's concerned what's gonna happen if I have sex with her. And so Calmaco says, well, why not find some foolish man to have sex with her, and then you can be the second to have sex with her. And although hesitant, he agrees. Although Lucrezia doesn't really agree, but with the help of the priest and her mother, they convince her to do it. And so, Calmaco disguises himself as a man, and he ends up being the one to go to her house, and of course he doesn't get poisoned. as he told Nissio. He has sex with her, and she thinks that all this was like part of some divine intervention, I don't know. There's some divine power that has led to these events, to her being fooled and them sleeping together, so she accepts him as a more permanent lover and breaks her marriage vows. And Nissio has the heir that he wanted. He is a girl. Sistrana, the mother, has a grandson. Ligario and the friar get money out of this, and everyone's happy. So it's definitely comedy, but what kind of comedy is satire? So all these characters, we have Calvaca, who wants the bed. Nissio wants an heir. Lucrezia wants an heir and wants virtue of God. Sistrana wants grandson. Ligario wants food and housing. The friar wants money and satisfaction of pride. And in order to get all these things, all these characters, maybe except, well, Lucrezia, I wouldn't say is as cunning, but these characters all use manipulation and fraud, which is a big thing with Machiavelli. Machiavellian means manipulative and cunning, and it's a characteristic of all of his works. And the main theme of this play is the pride for the means of personal gain prevails over intellectualism and religion. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought. My mom just came in. So the whole theme to this, is intellectualism and religion. When we get into the analysis of the play, we're dealing with, what was her name? The Medici rule. And, Machiavelli's response to it, how it affected his diplomatic and political standings in the previous Florentine Republic, and how he's now. Hey Mom, could you go in the other room? Sorry. God, okay, sorry, never mind. So, I'm sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. So this is connected with religion and politics. And Machiavelli's response to that time period, and that's the whole thing with fraud, in a sense. The corruption in the church, how they want money, they want personal satisfaction, and for that, they would go against morals, and how people, for personal gain, everyone would be happy with achieving fraud if everyone's happy. So if everyone basically, fucks everyone over and gets into fraud, and they get what they want, fraud is okay. Because all these characters are fraudulent. And how does this connect with Machiavelli? Machiavelli, in order to get away with this play, he was criticized. He set it in the time of the Florentine Republic instead of during medicinal role. So I don't know, just the censors worked it, and in that way, Machiavelli was being fraudulent and manipulative, like these characters. Um, yeah. So this play does have an interesting central theme, the whole thing about fraud, and some allegorical characters. But I think this play kind of lacks is the structure of its plot, how the 5-act structure doesn't really go, like the 3rd act isn't really that climactic, and everything happens kind of late in the play. I don't know, it's just not sequenced well, and Lucretia's appearance isn't until much later in the play, and she isn't as developed as she could be, and she's not as fraudulent as the other characters. It'd be interesting if all these characters were in some way fraudulent. But I can think of her as the exception. Although she does, for the virtue of God and for the born heir, she does replace her husband with a new lover. So there is some fraudulent aspects to her. But I don't know. She just doesn't. She's at the center of the play, sort of, because they talk about her a great deal, but her involvement in the play, and I don't think that's necessarily my criticism. I just, I think the play would have been more effective if there was an interaction with her and Kanako. I don't know, some Act 4 rather than the end of Act 5. She comes in as a resolutionary character, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so that's Mandrake, and I'll be doing satire for 3 states, another satire. This one from Scotland, later on, today. We'll definitely get a chance, except a lot of time on my hands today, so I'll be caught up. Alright, bye.